Remax down here in Austin, Texas. I serve investors.
Well, guys, that was my man Frank Salas. He is probably getting ready to come back in. So his intro was so lights out that he exited himself off the screen. So what's up, guys, on Periscope? How are you guys doing?
Am I back?
You're back.
Okay,
what's up, guys?
Guys, as you know, we like to play with technology that is in its early adopter phase, so sometimes we're a little too fired for it. But today, I have the pleasure of working with business development superstar, Mr. Matt Crane. He has over 2 million hearts on Periscope, over 8,000 followers, a very active and engaged audience, building his own tribe called Crane's Crew right now. So I'm going to let Mr. Matty Crane tell you a little bit about himself. Matt, tell the fine folk about yourself.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the talented Mr. Salas and guys on Periscope. I'm on Mr. Frank Salas, the talented Mr. Salas across the board, getting ready to go live. We're going to talk about building a fashion business from scratch, from the ground up. And for those of you that are on this podcast today that are going to be on Blab and checking us out on Periscope, for the better part of 10 years, I've worked in business development that ranged from Fortune 500 companies all the way down to small businesses and entrepreneurs. I've created an opportunity to in the marketplace known as the business development architect. And my sole mission is to help you create such a strong foundation and such a solid framework for your business, not by looking through binoculars, but through looking through a laser-sighted scope, that we truly help you build the business blueprint for success. And we help you then build the business and success that you've always wanted, and now you have the infrastructure that's going to support that. So, guys, yeah, you can catch me on social media, and I'll be sitting at 3 milli hearts by the weekend. Thank you, guys.
I love it. So Matt and I recently just connected. We've been stalking each other for a few months, and as most players in the game do, like I stalk people all the time before I ever reach out to them. And we finally show, it doesn't show recording. We had the smooth intro and everything. All right, cool. We're just going to do the quick intro. Hey guys, this is Frank Salas, also known as the talented Mr. Salas. We're having an interview series with business development superstar, Mr. Matt Crane. Mr. Matt Crane, tell the fine folks about yourself.
Hey guys, Matt Crane, at I am Matt Crane across the board on all social media channels. I'm better known as the business development architect. I truly help you create the biz development blueprint by looking at your business at such a microscopic level that I help you create the infrastructure you need so then you can house, grow, and develop all the success that you truly desire, not only just in your business, but we get so rooted to your core that we help build out the foundation of your life as well.
Heck yeah. And today we're going to be talking about a new venture that I personally started. I just launched a fashion line in Spain. So I just launched a fashion line in Spain, and I'm looking to get it set up. So what I would really need help on is, number one, I've never been in the fashion industry. I have no idea what I'm doing, which is great, which is where most entrepreneurs should be every single day. I fail nonstop all the time, and I'm so excited for the lessons that I'm about to learn personally from my experience in this brand new industry. And your whole deal is you can help anybody develop any business from the ground up, from concept to creation. Is that right, Mr. Crane?
Yeah, and you know, I get asked all the time, and it's funny that we're doing a topic on fashion because, guys, I've never worked with anyone from implementation idea all the way through fruition. I've worked with different fashion designers. I've worked with different fashion entrepreneurs, but the one thing that I loved about this opportunity when Frank and I were talking about it was that if you're truly an expert, if you're truly going to call yourself an architect, then you need to understand that frameworks of businesses, okay, while the business model itself could be different, is that an architect that creates beauty in all businesses, that can really facilitate growth for other businesses, understands how to frame and how to create something but then be able to do it at such a level where it breaks it down in specifics. So, I'm really excited about it, Frank. One thing that your audience will find out today, you're going to find out today, those of you that are on Periscope, thank you so very much for being here, is that I get very, very, very targeted, very specific. I truly believe that in today's fast-paced and commoditized marketplace, is that entrepreneurs, while we move fast, we think fast, and we want to be profited, we want to profit fast. If we're really looking at our business from an infrastructure level, if you're finding a coach, a mentor, a guru, then he's going to not slow your pace down, but he's going to want to look at your business almost in slow motion. I say, my son, my 5-year-old, watches this movie, and I can't think of the name, but anyway, there's this squirrel that just is always super fast. And they gave him an energy drink, and so the world moved at like slow motion with him, but yet he was moving at lightning speed. And that's really what I want to do with entrepreneurs that think fast like you, Frank, that want to move fast like you, that maybe don't want to pay as close attention to the detail. That's why you bring someone like me on. But I also want to make sure that as you're moving and grooving, I'm not building your business, because when I walk away from your business and go and work with someone else, I don't want to leave you holding the bag wondering what happened.
I dig that. So let's jump right in and start giving some value, give people some context. I had somebody in the talent tribe approach me with an investment opportunity within my tribe, and I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a great product. I loved the person, really wanted to invest my time, my energy, and my resources into the actual product. So now we're taking that Spanish line and we're bringing it here to Australia. We're bringing it to South Africa, the rest of the UK, Canada, Mexico, South America, and of course the United States here. And, I can market anything, I can sell anything, but where I require the most help is business development. Like, I've got to have a whole back end to this business that, man, I've got 6 companies on top of this company. I have no idea where to even start. So right now, where I'm at, we're about 3 weeks launched. We are in customs. We're establishing all of our connections with everybody here in the Austin area, and we got Seattle, LA, New York City, Miami, all the fashion towns, Denver. We're reaching out to them and establishing those networks and just doing the old school, hey, I got a fashion line, I have a relationship with you, let's leverage that. So we're doing the basics, but we're not talking about the basics today. We're talking about straight up business development, man. Serve me, dude. School me.
Yeah, so first of all, guys, I want to set the tone is that Frank's a serial entrepreneur. So for most people that we deal with and that we work with, especially in the fashion industry, let's talk about, you want to talk about aggressive, you want to talk about a very competitive marketplace. Go try to create a fashion line. Go call yourself a designer or a fashionette, as you call it, because, man, it is absolutely brutal. So for Frank to be in the, already have creating 14, 15 companies, he's ahead of the curve of most people. But for today, I'm going to sprinkle a little basic, and then we're going to bake us a whole cake, right? I'm going to give you a slice of pie, and then we're going to eat some cake. So, the first thing that I tell people right away, Frank, is, and I'm going to ask you this question because it would not be ethical of me not to do this, but why did you want to start a fashion business?
I've always wanted to be in fashion, and it's just something that I enjoy.
Okay.
I have a passion for it.
Okay. I love that. So you would definitely say that you would dive into this full-hearted entrepreneurial like you would anything else.
Without a doubt.
I love to hear that. So guys, that's the first question that you really have to lay out to anyone, especially in the fashion world, right? Because they have fashion labels as a whole have to think like entrepreneurs from the very beginning. So you have to also get down to a working knowledge of the business. And for Frank, he was approached with an investment opportunity. He's probably done some research on his own. But where I really want to come into place now is I want to take the tablecloth, okay? So we've got a nice table. Frank's a great person to work with. He's got a great foundation, so the room is set up nice. But now we want to add some stuff to the table that we're eventually going to eat at. So when we lay out this tablecloth, what we're really doing, guys, is we're laying out the business plan. And we're going to show right now goals. I'm going to work with Frank on his next in line goals. And then we're going to talk about down the road goals. And guys, there's different language for different people. Short term, intermediate, and long term would be the correct terms. but I want to be very specific. Okay, guys, one thing that you'll learn why I am a true architect in the business development game is the way I word things, the way I want you to think about things, okay? Short term and right now, you already know the difference in those words, right? So, Frank, when you were approached with this fashion business to truly elevate it to a level that you're going to start feeling comfortable about, what are some of your right now goals in terms of your fashion business?
Right now, I want to establish relationships and get a bunch of recurring orders. I want to go down to all the hip neighborhoods here in Austin, and of course, with all the influencers in the different cities that I know, and say, here's my product. It's an early adopter phase. It's very trending. This won't be on the magazines until like September of this year. It's in June of 2016 right now. So we're a little ahead of the curve. Here's what's coming out next. And let's go ahead and start stocking up your fall lines, your end of summer sales, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what my short-term goal is, just to get a bunch of product in the right places.
So would you? So would it be safe for me to ask you, Frank, that right now showing a jaw-dropping profit is not the most important right now goal for you?
Not at all. Building up relationships, establishing sales, is just what we're doing right now. Getting started.
Okay, perfect. So now, guys, what I want you to see now is, do I need to even move to his next in line goals? No. You know why? Because I'm going to lose him in the shuffle. And when you guys are probably working with mentors, or if you've worked with a mentor or coach before that's frustrated you, it's because they moved right past what you told them you needed, and you started to try to figure out what they wanted. So what you really want to pay attention to is that if you can't get Frank to be specific, then Frank doesn't know where he's really needing to be specified at. So for the fact that Frank knows now that he wants to build relationships, that he's really about pushing product, that he's about flooding the marketplace with more of his brand, more of his attention-grabbing concepts. And then I followed that up with, okay, Frank, so just so I'm clear, profiting at a jaw-dropping level is not that important, okay? Now, notice how I didn't say profiting was not important, okay? So what you want to understand is that you have to you really have to be aligned with your client, right? So you have to be in complete alignment with that client. So now, okay, it would really do me an in-service, and it would furthermore do Frank an in-service if we weren't starting to really grasp how to do that, right? So Frank, hearing about relationships and flooding the market with your product, it really specifies to me two quick areas, and I want to get very detailed on this. So before we really start getting into some of the other meat and potatoes, okay, I want you to know up front that this isn't going to be a 24-hour fix. It's not going to be a 48-hour fix. It's going to take you and I really dedicating ourselves. It could be months. This could be 6 months or 12 months. So what I really want to know before we go any further is how committed to you laying out this full-term business idea? How committed are you to having the blueprint for success for this fashion business?
Very committed, very committed. I mean, I definitely am already taking the actions, and I just want to get guided the right way and then just roll with it.
Perfect. So the point of our conversation today, Frank, is I only want you to take one key nugget away from you and I's visit today and the information we're going to share today. I only want you to walk away today learning and knowing how you're going to build better relationships, how we are going to flood the market more with your product, and how we're going to be able to start creating the infrastructure you need to solve your short-term goals. And if you don't feel through this process that every day or every conversation we have that I'm providing you value, I would prefer you just throw your stop sign up and say, hey, I need you to stop for a few moments. Okay? Is that fair enough?
Very fair.
Okay. So guys, here's the main coaching point here. I'm not going to lose Frank in the shuffle. I'm constantly going to get his investment back to me. Notice how I haven't asked him for his business. I haven't started talking pricing. What I'm doing is getting him to constantly commit to me, right? It's called the TV timeout. The only reason why they take timeouts in sports is because they have to show value to the people that gave them the money to air it. So all it is, it's getting a commitment in return. So understand one very simple thing. Frank's money that he's going to pay me pales into comparison than his personal commitment to Matt. If I can engage Frank at a level where he personally commits to me, then I'll get paid whatever he wants to pay me. I'll never have to look over my shoulder and wonder, is he in the boat or is he not in the boat? The other thing that I want to really specify here, guys, okay, and why this is called architecture, okay, is because now Frank is seeing that I'm meeting him 90% of the way with the commitment questions. He's not having to force them out of me. He's not having to figure out, am I the real deal? I'm coming right to him, engaging him, and pushing him on a decision. Okay? So, everybody kind of feel good about those? Everybody feel good about that on Periscope? Frank?
Yeah,
all right.
No, it makes total sense.
Okay.
It makes total sense. Get your clients to buy in with you and your philosophy, because it's more than just money. It's your time. You can never get the time that you invest with me. Even if you got paid for that time, you're still spending your time, you know? And it's like you would rather work with somebody that's going to take it, apply it, and commit to it. I get that.
Okay, so Frank, talking to, you know, in retrospect to your comment on I want to build relationships, if you had to classify yourself as a beginner, as a novice, or as an expert in relationship building, what would you categorize yourself as? Frank only.
As an expert.
Okay, all right? If you had to identify right now one specific group that would take very minimal time, very minimal persuasion, very minimal touch points that you could possibly go ahead and start branding your product and offering opportunities to extend your network to their bottom line customer base, who would that be? And if you don't mind me asking, why would that be?
Immediately, I would say all of the female social media influencers that I know, just because I have a good relationship with them, and they are, you know, fashionable, they're on camera a lot, and they already have a following, they already have influence amongst my target demographic, which is women who love jewelry. And I would love to reach out to them and say, hey, just wanted to let you know about my new, you know, fashion line. Would love to set up some kind of affiliate with you, and, you know, and start bringing it out that way. So I think that's the low-hanging fruit there.
Fantastic. And we're getting a lot of good feedback and questions from some of our Periscopers. And there's some experts on this Periscope as well. And so that leads me to my next point. You say female social media influencers. Do you have a target age group? Do you have a target audience inside of those female social media influencers that you would specify with this targeted information?
You know what? I do this every day for people and their businesses on social media, and I've yet to do this for my business, and I probably spend about 6 hours a day, every single day, with other people to get their target follower on that. And so, no, I haven't, and that, you know, shows a little, you know, kinks in my armor that I've got to put on. So, yeah, I've got to get that on there. But, you know, my range, and I'm the first person to say you don't got to get a range. You got to get very specific. I would say somewhere in their late 20s. So 27, 28, millennial, who wants to have a nice fashion, but doesn't want to spend a lot on it. It doesn't want cheap stuff. And our appeal to our fashion is that you never get the same piece again. There's always something that we change on every single piece. So, like, I hate walking into a club or a bar or a restaurant and see somebody wearing the same thing that I'm doing. And because I sell women's fashion, they even more hate that feeling. And because of that, we have slight altercations. So the thread might be this color, the accessory might be this type, and it changes per piece.
Okay. So, you know, Frank, I know that you do a lot of dealings, and you're considered a growth hacker in the space, and one of the best. And you know, so I've done a little research on you as well. But so one of my main questions would be now is that based on your target market that you immediately want to create relationships with and start influxing the marketplace with, is that in alignment with the current sales and the current progress of the line that you partnered with overseas?
Yeah, absolutely. It's on a beach. It's got its own location right now, and you know, a bunch of 20-somethings who are on vacation or holiday will come out, and they'll, on their way to the bar or the beach, they'll stop by and they'll be like, "Oh my God, this is super cute, love it," and they pick it up.
Right. Well, that's great.